Hello and welcome to Paranormal Chronicles. I'm your host, Joe Miranda. Today's episode is Showdown on the Staircase. Before we go any further, I just want to say that I'm a flawed man and I'm a sinner. I give God all the glory. I believe Jesus Christ is my Savior and I renounce Satan. But I will not underestimate his ability here on earth to blind minds, eyes, ears, and hearts. That is for sure. Now, interestingly enough, I actually read that Satan has the ability to blind minds back when I started keeping my journal in 2012. I read that in another man's journal, and a light bulb just went off, and to me, it explained a lot. A lot of things that had happened in my life. I believe it explains a lot of what happens in everybody's life. That man was Alfred Douglas Young. He lived from 1808 to 1889. He was very prominent in the early days of the Mormon movement. I'll have a episode regarding him in the future. Now, on to today's episode. It was requested that I do a spirit box investigation for a dear friend of mine and his sister. They had lost their brother in December, late December, after Christmas, actually, of 2019. The date of the spirit box investigation was January 11th, 2020. I wasn't at 100% actually when I did the investigation, because little did I know that I actually had contracted COVID. Although I wasn't 100%, I was feeling better. And of course, we didn't know what it was at that time. And I made the commitment to them to do the spirit box investigation. I didn't want to let them down. They were really looking forward to it. When you do a spirit box investigation, you use what's called a spirit box. What it does is it takes AM or FM frequencies and cycles through them, anywhere from 150 to 350 cycles per minute. That's pretty quick. So it cycles through, and what it allows is entities to use those fragments to communicate. I had a spirit box. I had a millimeter. My millimeter had the ability to capture temperature. I also had with me a video recorder with it. It was a high definition video recorder with high definition sound. So also had a digital recorder. I always use digital recorder when I would do an investigation. It's a great way to pick up background words, noises, sounds. I would never go anywhere without a digital recorder. So with that said, before we did the investigation, we started. I brought holy water with me. I blessed everybody. I blessed myself. And interestingly enough, with my friend back in 2016, prior to, obviously prior to his brother passing, because he passed in December of 2019, I was on the phone with my friend, and just out of the blue, I had this impression. I heard this this woman. She she said, tell Terry I say hello. Okay. And the next thing I heard was, I have 5 kids. Well, I'd known Terry for almost 20 years at that point, and I know Terry had his sister and his other brother who had passed. That's 3. And while I was on the phone, I said to Terry, I said, Terry, there's a woman trying to communicate with me. She says she's your mother. Um, she has a warning for you, but she said she has 5 kids. And Terry, I only know you, your sister, and your brother. Well, there was a slight pause on the other end, and at that point, my friend told me, he said, well, we didn't tell anybody this, but we just found out about a month ago that my mother had 2 daughters from a previous relationship. So that took us both by surprise. And she did have a warning. She said that my friend should, well, she said, stop smoking. It's not good for you. But it was a warning nonetheless that that they were going to get sick. Well, I thought it was for my friend, but I honestly believe, knowing how this works, that I believe it was for his brother, because I had a prior situation years, probably 15 years before that. So it's not, when I get impressions, when the impressions don't always come through, it's not, it can be pretty specific, but sometimes names, places, times can get be a little off, obviously. I mean, it's still amazing. But that was my thought after the brother had passed away, and I actually told my friend that the warning was for his brother, not for him. Anyway, so we get the gear ready. My friend is holding the millimeter. The husband of the sister was holding the camcorder, and my friend's nephew, his son, was also there. So there were let's see, 4 of us all together. Well, actually, yeah, 5 of us, including myself. So I blessed them, I blessed myself, and we started in on the investigation. Turned on the camera. About 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the investigation, I turned on the digital recorder and put it in my breast pocket. No problem. Digital recorder in the breast pocket will still pick everything up, so it doesn't skip a beat. Anyway, so as we move forward, the sister asked a question at like 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So I turned the digital recorder on 2 minutes and 16 seconds into the investigation. At 3:20, she asked a question: if anything was attached to her. Well, I wasn't prepared for that, and knowing better now, I would have stopped the investigation right there, because I wasn't prepared for anything other than doing a spirit box investigation regarding the brother. And I had prepared mentally. As I said, I wasn't at 100% because I was getting over COVID. You could hear it in the video. I sounded pretty rough. So we moved forward with that. And when she said that, going back and listening to the audio on the video, which this is the transcript of that investigation, yeah came through when she said, is anything attached to me? And right after that, yeah. Didn't hear that at the time, but definitely heard something. So, then at about 3:55 in the video, the sister commanded the entity to leave her body. Again, I wasn't prepared for this. And you could actually see when I'm in the video, I'm pretty expressive, and you could tell I just wasn't digging what was going on at that point. So, 426 into this, uh, into the investigation, I hear help. At 427, the sister said, stand forward and tell me. I didn't know what she meant by that. And at that point, all hell broke loose. I didn't know it at the time, but 4 minutes and 31 seconds into the investigation, my digital recorder just went completely dead. It drained completely. That's happening at the same time where the sister is saying, who are you? So 431, she asks, who are you? The come to find out later, and everything's synced up, the digital recorder just went dead. And at that point, after she asked, who are you? I thought, and I've listened many, many times, I thought the word Hades came out. Now, Hades, he is the god of the dead and king of the underworld in Greek mythology. So, again, heard it after went back and listened many, many times. It probably took me about 7-8 hours of going back and forth through the audio to pick up a lot of the stuff that I have in the translation here. So right after asking who are you, the sister said, I'm burning up, and she started fanning herself. And you could see she was getting agitated. And I'm not going to show the video of this episode, but it is disturbing. And at that point, again, all this is taking place within a matter of seconds, from like 4 minutes and 31 seconds on. The digital recorder going out, she's fanning herself. We're hearing these things. And the brother says, over the past 5 minutes, the temperature on the meter, the Mel meter, it's gone up 5 degrees. He said from 66 degrees to 71 degrees. And just a few moments after that, the sister said this.
I feel something. Who are you?